Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent and the channel is EOS San Diego. And just a few minutes ago, I uploaded a video, a little demonstration of how the challenge application is going to work. So I think it's about a minute 20, minute 30 seconds long. So check it out. Basically, it's very easy. All you got to do is create an account name with a password. It generates a key for you, which is stored on the blockchain, that you don't ever have to worry about. And then at that point, you can start creating challenges. And I think we have a little bit of a few challenges there that have been created. I think going to the supermarket and going to the store, some of the other things. But you can see how this is going to work. And then also you can see where the wallet, and you can see how you can make challenges and create challenges. So I think like a minute 20 seconds long. Go ahead and check it out. It's a kind of update of what we're doing. This is going to be released very soon. It's going to be running on a blockchain, and of course it's going to be fully functional with an ability to interact with other accounts and to exchange value back and forth. So, and that's really what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about where we're at with the internet today. What the internet is today is basically a great communication tool. It's a great way to communicate, but it doesn't work so well for transferring value. Because it's widely distributed, wide distribution with the internet, so many different places. It's hard to get a consensus as far as value is concerned, what things are worth, or how much somebody spent, or trying to keep track of accounts, or keeping track of where the money's gone, what happened to it, whatever. So that's why we have to have banks. We have to have that third-party consensus, that agreement. Well, blockchain allows that consensus to happen on the internet. So the internet's going to progress only by being able to transfer value back and forth. And the best way to do that is through blockchain and a consensus algorithm by a group that is in an agreement on what value should be and how much value should be transferred and how much value you want to have or create or do whatever. So there has to be a mechanism for that. And of course, blockchain is the only way to really do that. The other thing that blockchain is really good for is when you have machine learning or artificial intelligence. So the way a machine learns is by getting a lot of information and then analyzing that information and finding patterns. So it collects an enormous amount of information. It can start to determine patterns in that information, and then by determining those patterns, it can start to make conclusions, and those conclusions are how it reaches decisions. So it does things very quickly, and so the more information, the more data, the better your artificial learning is, the machine learning is, and the better it's going to work. But it's very difficult if you have a lot of centralized systems that hold a lot of data or this information that the artificial intelligence is using to make to create these algorithms or to create these associations. If it's not available, then they can't use it. The only way to make this information available and have people control it is for you to have it on your own individual place on the internet, and then be able to allow people to have it when it's something that you want to do, or allowed to keep private when you want it private, but not have it someplace where nobody can access it except maybe the centralized system, the system that doesn't allow people to share their information, or keeps their information only on their servers, unavailable for other people. So the two things that the internet needs right now, and the two things that'll have to take place for the internet to progress and grow, is the greater way of distributing information, so more learning can take place, and more value can be added to the internet, or added to everybody's lives by having machines make quicker decisions. They can come, machines can take all the information data, process it very quickly, and they can do things much quicker than the human being or the human mind can do. Come up with new ways or new medicines or anything like that by doing associations, as long as they've got the information. So if everybody's information's on the internet, medical information's on the internet, and maybe a little bit about their history, about where they're from, or their what's the word I'm looking for? Their genetics. I mean, they can start to come up with these conclusions about maybe certain diseases and who needs to do preventive this or do preventative that. That information, if it was all accessible, would make medicine so much more efficient and make it a lot better to be able to predict diseases and make conclusions on how people should be treated. The best way to be prevention, probably. That's number one. Number two is just the ability to transfer money, the ability to transfer exchange back and forth on the blockchain or on the internet without having to worry about a third-party overseer, and really literally a third party that can't oversee because of the amount of transactions, and also because the information, a lot of debt banks now that have information on people. If something happens and there's a breach of that, then there's a breach of your information. That happens all the time. I get letters from my bank and other banks that my personal information may have been compromised, that something may have leaked out. Be careful. That's why they're so quick to stop your account, and not if they think there's anything that's not quite right, or if it falls outside the range of normal activity, then immediately they're ready to stop it. So anyway, they really can't keep up with what's going on. The only way to do that is to have a evaluated transfer of money back and forth digitally through a consensus network, through some sort of algorithm like the blockchain, and be able to have that working quickly, working fast, and being able to make those decisions very quickly without a third party. So that is why we're in the blockchain. That's why we build on the blockchain. That's why we build a challenge application. And that's why I think that it's not only something that people hope will be the future. I think it will be the future. There's no guessing here about how this is going to transact, how this is going to come about. It's just not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. That's kind of what I was going to say. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.